Thank you so much for joining me. And I love your backdrop. Congrats.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
it's because the room looks like a mess and the missus wouldn't let anyone else see it.
That's what I have this backdrop for too. Everything's a mess.
Nice.
It is so wonderful to speak with you. Congratulations for being the Brave Pick of 2020. The record was certainly a savior. My gosh. Wow.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate the enthusiasm. Yeah.
Well, and I must say that every day I look outside, because I'm based just outside of Toronto, it reminds me of this artwork, just gray and gloomy.
It is pretty gloomy. It's supposed to be that way.
Now, the response to this record has been incredible. And were you happy with the way the world given the state of the world?
Well, yeah, given the state, so to speak. Usually we would be well into tours and everything else connected with a release. That's not the case this time around. Well, we did some limited capacity shows in Norway. We did some streaming events, but apart from that, it's just been response on online and reviews in magazines and stuff like that, which is of course it has been really good. It's been overwhelming, but I mean we're missing the actual response from the live audience when we perform the new songs, and of course that's really what it's all about, being in the band, performing the songs live and check out the real response.
Now, I must say, when I heard the record and I felt like this masterpiece, and then my heart sank because I'm like, you guys put so much time and effort into this thing, and what do you do with it aside from just have people like me around the world buy it? It's tough.
Yeah, it's been really weird, but at the same time, I think. There's a couple of advantages with a pandemic. It seems that people are getting more into the albums they actually get into, and a lot of people have bought the new album a lot more than usual. I think. I mean, all the vinyl versions are out of stock like 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago already. So it seems that the fans are really supportive that way. They are picking up the physical releases more than they did like just a couple of albums ago. So I mean, if anything positive can be drawn out of this misery, that's one of them.
We've got another visitor, Iver. Pleasure to have you.
Hi, Tim. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. This is a first-time meeting, so congratulations on being the Brave Pick of the Year, and your wonderful, clean vocals just took me to greater heights. It was such a beautiful moment. So congratulations. Thank you so much.
That's very nice of you. Thank you very much.
Now, guys, there's Asgard, there's Midgard, and there's Utgard. Was there any plan to mimic the chaos of today? Was that going through your minds when you thought, Utgard, my gosh, we are living in kind of that state of giants and chaos?
Well, not really. I mean, by the time we finished the mixing, the mastering, and the final sessions of Utgard, I don't think any of us have even heard of that virus. Was it the beginning of 2020? We first heard reports from Asia, Iver?
Yeah, early, February, March.
Yeah, something like that. So,
yeah, it was like.
No, it was not intentional. No.
No. So you guys are almost like Nostradamus then, because you, right?
Aren't we always, No.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
sorry,
I guess it has been predicted. Let's be honest. It shouldn't be news to people that this actually happens, because, well, there's been predictions, very well-informed predictions for many years now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's less nature and more people. People move into closer to the wildlife, and there you go.
Yeah, we're just too fucking many of us.
Yeah, exactly. Now, was there any debate as when the virus was rolling out that you should even bother even releasing this thing? You should just put it on hold, do that what Megadeth are doing, just put it up on the shelf and wait?
Well, it was put on hold in the first place. I mean, it was supposed to be released in May last year, and it was postponed until October. So yeah, but I mean, there weren't any talks about postponing it even further, was it?
No, the way I remember it was that, well, it was so chaotic in the beginning of this thing that I think we were planning on just going ahead as planned. At first.
At first,
in the very beginning, but then basically we couldn't get the album out there because all the pressing plants closed.
Yeah, everything was closed. I mean, there were no people to actually handling the physical release, the actual record. So that was pretty weird.
Now, before we get into some of the songs, and no disrespect, I'm literally talking to Mr. Clean and Mr. Dirty when it comes to vocals, and just the way that everything kind of melds together. How do you work together? I know you're the newbie, but how does that work together in the studio? You melding?
Well, in that respect, it isn't as new as people maybe get the impression, because, well, basically we've been friends for many years, and then I've been part of the production team for the last 10 years.
Right.
So like me and Grutle have been doing like working on vocal stuff in the studio for many years now, and so it's kind of just a natural evolution, I feel, at least. I don't know about you.
I don't.
No, he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any feelings.
The first time we worked together in Enslaved was probably 2010. But I mean, we have been working together in projects before Enslaved. To 2006, 7. So it's been almost 15 years. So we know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and actually. Well, for a couple of albums before me becoming an official member, we had been doing, and even when Herbrand was still in the band, we had been kind of doing stuff like harmony vocals and working on things involving both our voices. I think going back as far maybe as Ritir, I don't really remember, but definitely on In Times.
In Times, not on the UK, I think.
It's kind of a blur, but it's been evolving. It's been evolving for quite a few years, so there's a natural blend of things going on there.
Now when we focus on the songs on this particular record, it's like these individual journeys. We could probably do an interview for each song. They're so involved and so intricate. I'm not saying it's a conceptual piece, but even the way it kicks off. I love like the chant, and at the 1 minute and 17-second mark, I hear this riff, and I'm like, kind of like a Pink Floyd thing or a Led Zeppelin thing. It's like, oh, that sounds like Enslaved, like it's your trademark. You know exactly what I'm talking about on the first track.
Well, that's in kind of the heart of our references, at least.
Right.
Yeah, some of the references.
Yeah.
No, but you have that signature sound, right? You've created your own signature sound. I just was like that stupefying moment, like, wow, this is kicking into gear again.
Yeah, I guess every artist that has a kind of signature sound, it's bound to be like the sum of their influences. So. For Enslaved, it's for some people it's weird, I guess, that you could mix extreme metal with the likes of Pink Floyd or Genesis, but for them and now for us, we're just music fans, so it's what comes naturally.
We don't think in terms of genres or
no.
metal at all. I mean, good music is good music, and any good music is a good reference. and a good source of inspiration. So it's like the melting pot of influences. It really should be, because in my point of view, an album is a reflection of the musical taste in the band there and then, and that of course evolves, it changes, and like it should be, because I mean, we had Motorhead, and we still have AC/DC to do that, you know, doing doing the same album, and they sound good. I mean, I don't think we are skilled enough to do that, to sound the same but good in 15 albums.
Yeah, we're just too impatient, aren't we?
Yes, definitely.
Would you classify Enslaved as then maybe it's unclassifiable?
Yeah, that's a good thought.
Yeah, well, but at the same time, like unclassifiable. But as Grutle said, we don't think too much in the genre terms. But yeah, I see that people have the need to classify stuff. So I don't want to get too.
What else would I do on forums, you know?
Yeah. So they can handle that. But yeah, if you want to call Enslaved something, yeah, heavy metal, hard rock, extreme metal, whatever,
or something.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, this is the first thing that we heard from the record, and what a beautiful moment. It's one of my favorite highlights of Enslaved ever. I don't even know how to describe it. It just takes you places, just takes you to different heights. And when I was listening to this thing, when I was biking or jogging or something, I'm like, wow, this world feels like a piece of shit right now, but this record is taking me home somewhere. So tell me about that first single and how it came to be. And the vocals are just incredible.
First of all, I like the tag black vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, that annoyed us to no end. That's the way vinyl's supposed to be. Come on.
That's a vinyl. That's how they look. Yeah, I mean, that's very new school to actually inform about the color of the vinyl. That's we weren't used to that before. It was either a black vinyl or a picture disc. That's what we were used to. So, but I mean, the idea of releasing a 7-inch as a teaser, that's really cool. And we had a couple of, we have like 3 singles on this album. So I think it was actually up to the label to pick the first teaser and the first single and the 7-inch, and we were all like, yeah, fine, whatever. If you want to choose Homebound, that's fine. If you want to choose Jättegryta, if you want to choose Urjotun, that's fine. So we ended up with Homebound, which is yeah, I would say it's a pretty good. I mean, it's perhaps the most accessible song on the album.
Sure.
So it's a good first teaser, a good first single.
Because it has its quote unquote commercial moments.
It has its moments, yeah.
So so it's a good pick in that sense, but also it's a nice overture for the album release in that it goes to quite a few different places.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
The song. So I feel that it covers a lot of ground, although on the surface it's one of the more streamlined songs, I guess.
Yeah, well, at least seemingly, you know.
Yeah, seemingly.
At first glance, I agree. Yeah. And
but yeah, if there are any specifics that you want to, if you want to know more about for that specific song, just go ahead. I think we kind of diverged a bit.
Yeah, no. But that song in particular, it's more commercial, most likely due to you. And I don't know how the chorus lines just get higher and higher and higher, and I'm like, this guy's gonna fucking explode.
Yeah, it's kind of
that was the whole plan in the studio, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was because we wrote that line. Kind of the melody was there before we decided on what kind of expression we were going to go for, and so it kind of went both Grutle and Ivar and me were huge fans of a Norwegian band called Motorcycle. I don't know if you know them.
By name, yes.
Yeah, really cool band. They've been going on for a tiny bit longer than Enslaved.
89, I think. Yeah.
89, yeah. So they're about our age, but they kind of been around for the whole stretch of Enslaved, and especially for their early albums, they had that lo-fi screaming vocal style where you really feel that it is about to explode.
Yeah.
But it's can he go further? Is it going to tear up now?
It was on the fifth or sixth take you had, and it was like, fuck singing, fuck the beautiful control thing. We need some bent set, some motorcycle here.
Yeah. So I was okay. I can go out of. I think.
Yeah, because
of course
it's already touching that vibe a little bit on those takes, and yeah, this is the place we want to explore. This is
because to be honest, when although we had been working together for so many years, it's kind of when you're in that position. Okay, this is going to be my lead vocal, so I had to feed off Grutle. Like, see, okay, where do we want to go? How far is it palpable for you that I actually end up going? So so we ended up going pretty far.
Yeah, it works.
And you're the drummer, for God's sakes. I'm only about an hour or two from another famous drummer that sang from Canada, Exciter. So I find it incredible, right? So
Dan Beeler.
Yeah, Dan Beeler. Yes, that incredible talent. It's unbelievable to have a set of pipes and be able to keep that rhythm at the same time.
Well, it came back to bite me because I didn't consider that when we wrote the vocal lines.
Sure, of course. And you haven't played live as much as you can anyways, right? So
yeah.
You should wear a Dan Beeler wig, I think.
Yeah, well, it'll fit nicely on top here.
That should be merchandise, actually. That'd be nice.
And there's one lyric that really sticks out in the song, as we fall, we stand still. Very prophetic, very almost to the moment of the world. You know what I mean? It's a pretty deep thing. Am I reading way too much into that particular lyric, or where was your heads at?
No, you're not. I mean, that was one of my lines. It's about you can I mean, Utgard can also been looked upon as a static place. It's like entering a dream, and of course, in the dreams, to put it really simple, in the dream you are lying still or standing still, while there's multiple things going on at the same time. So, yes, you are absolutely right.
Good.
As we fall, we stand still.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are definitely.
It's about inside.
Yes.
The inside.
And then a song.
The insides. Yeah.
And then a song that really hit me was, and I'm sure you're sick to death of talking about Kraftwerk, but we lost a main guy from Kraftwerk. And when I heard the interview that you did before that, I was thinking, wow, this sounds like Kraftwerk. It was a very daring song. Can you explain a little bit about where your reasoning was there?
Want to go first, or? I remember
go ahead.
Yeah. I remember Ivar was he was up late one night, and he sent that demo tape. It's not a tape anymore, but the demo was sent in the morning.
Right.
So I loaded it on my phone, and I went down to pick up my mail, which is like a couple of hundred meters down the road. And the song started with a sequencer, and that's like that was just like hearing Kraftwerk or Neu or Silver Apples like the early 70s, even late 60s recordings with the sequence. So I was kind of, what the fuck are you thinking about, here, Ivar? I was like, wow, he was up late.
Drinking.
But I mean, just after the second listen, it just it just grabbed me, and I felt like an instant Kraftwerk krautrock vibe, and at the same time a real nice space rock Hawkwind kind of feeling. And of course, Mr. Sandøy here totally agree on that one. So we kind of decided that this is where the song was heading. This is the platform, and let's take it from there. When we started to work on the vocals, the vocal demos, we ended up having this Scott Walker approach. Scott Walker,
Yeah.
David Bowie approach to the vocals.
Which is kind of interesting, I think, with the whole krautrock vibe, that naturally we ended up going towards the Bowie.
Yeah,
maybe even his Berlin era.
exactly.
In the vocal approach.
Wow.
So yeah, it was perhaps the most interesting song to work on, because I mean, being the most unusual Enslaved song. But
Yeah,
it's still very Enslaved. It ended up being very Enslaved in the end as well.
I was going to say, it fits you guys like a glove. What were the fans thinking when they heard that? Were they like another wow moment?
Yeah, I guess for a lot of people it was a wow moment, and maybe not in a mutual direction for everybody. There were some resistance, I seem to remember, but I mean it's music, it's art. I mean, music is divisive. It has always been, and this is like we took a step in another direction, like a musician or a band should do, because I mean it's also about challenging yourself. You know, do something that you aren't 100% comfortable with.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like you said, it's really Enslaved. I think it, and that's why Ivar wrote the riffs the way he did, because it's really an expression of what the band is at this moment. Like,
yeah,
we've been like for the last 2 years, we've been toying around with that typical krautrock groove that you hear on that songs at rehearsals. Like,
yeah,
partly for fun, because it's a really fun groove that can just go on for hours. So I guess he decided that, now we have a drummer who he actually enjoys playing these things, so we can do one of these songs.
The man machine groove, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, the Mensch machine. But I mean, funny enough, that music, that krautrock, that early German synthesizer pioneer thing, is something that has been there all the time. I mean,
you guys have been referencing that like
since 1992, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So it has been there all the time, and funny enough, that Urjotun is perhaps the most old school song we have ever written. It's a lot more old school than any trash song we have ever done.
Yeah, in many respects, it is.
It is, yeah.
Now, can we talk about the artwork and the second last song, Flight of Thought and Memory, and the symbolism of the raven? How important is that? And when you're walking around out and about, you had to get a boat from me, and you see a raven. What kind of, how does that feel deep in your heart? And tell me about the song.
The ravens are they symbolize Odin, and Odin's thought and memory.
Right.
Hugin and Munin in ancient Norse. So in the mythology, Odin would send his ravens out to Jotunheim, to Utgard, to explore the chaotic powers, to explore the giant, to be able to actually protect himself, protect the inner self against the chaotic surroundings. So those ravens are really, really crucial in the Norse mythology. And of course, we had to. They are basically spies, the intellect spies spying on your own chaos.
Right.
Yeah.
And on the artwork, which one is who?
That's what you can decide yourself.
Last song, Distant Seasons, A Song of Hope. It's probably the most classically, I hate using the word progressive, but it just brought up so many classic bands, but it just has that feeling of hope. What was going through your mind when you wrote that?
I didn't write it.
Collectively.
Yeah, that song is of course it's Ivar, both the groundwork, musical groundwork, and the lyrics, and I know it's a pretty personal thing for him, like where the lyrics came from originally.
Yeah, so it's basically a tribute to his daughters. Really.
Yeah, and we ended up having his small daughters in the studio singing the song with us.
Wow, that's
you can hear them on the last chorus. That's a pretty strong moment for me, at least. And yeah, it's a perfect closer for the album.
I remember when I first heard that song, it was like on the last chorus, it's like, guys, this sounds like children's choir. That's because it is. Oh, really? That was pretty cool.
And it's it's a song that I'm really proud of. It the opening vocal put me in the spotlight with nothing to hide behind. That's one thing. But I think from a production standpoint, like for me as a producer, the thing that I'm most proud of in the intro of the song is getting that guitar solo from Icedale, like, because he I guess he's kind of portrayed as a black metal Slash, to put it like cartoonish, but he has so many more layers to him, and him going into that like super sensitive, almost Peter Green vibe on that opening solo. I'm really proud of capturing that and presenting that to the Enslaved fans. So I feel that song has many dimensions and perhaps many promises of where we may end up exploring more, the areas we may end up exploring more, but who knows?
As a fan, when I listen to a song like that, I get something different almost every time I listen to it. Like it doesn't get stale, it doesn't get old. As a creator, do you find that with that type of material?
Yeah, kind of, because at one listen or at one playthrough, you're kind of focusing maybe on the intro, like we discussed now, but then you go back to like the more grandiose parts, the choruses, and you kind of dwell there. And we have the little popish Peter Gabriel mixed with Aussie bridge part that me and Grutle did. That was good fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has like
shadows. That was fun.
So yeah, it is that kind of song that has you kind of dwell on different sections every time. I agree. Yeah.
Now, looking back at the year that was, aside from COVID and not being able to tour, we had a few deaths that I wanted to raise. That were any really that hit home to you? I remember I was on 70,000 Tons of Metal, and we heard about it on the Sunday when we landed in Fort Lauderdale that Neil Peart had died, and I was just like on the floor.
I was about to say, like, you being Canadian and all, that was one of the main ones, and it was shocking to me because I thought he had just problems with his arms and legs.
Yeah,
and that was why they were quitting.
No, the family kept it really quiet. So
yeah,
and the band, obviously. But it was, you've got Neil Peart, you've got Eddie Van Halen, Frankie Banali. It was a tough year.
Yeah,
for music fans. Anybody else hit you guys hard?
Last year, oh,
It's just been so much that I can't really remember. Yeah, Pert and Van Halen. Who else?
I can't remember.
Probably loads of people.
Yeah,
Yeah, loads of people.
everything got overshadowed by the
Yeah,
COVID-19 pandemic.
We all got
I mean,
distracted.
you just reminded me that he's dead.
Well,
That was-
just
that
a
was
couple more,
terrible.
just a couple more questions. I don't want to take all of your time today, but how have you been taking your time, spending your time since you can't get in there? Are you spending more time writing? Do you know what the next album's going to be about? What's going on behind the scenes?
Well,
Well, I mean, we spent a lot of time doing these streaming events, streaming concerts. We dug up a lot of old songs. So basically, the first half of the year we were rehearsing on both the Utgård songs and the old songs that even the fans participated in picking out for the live sets, and we did the whole Bit of the Lights album. And and then it was summer holidays, and after that we've been focusing on rehearsing, and we went on actually we went touring here in Norway, and we had a couple of 3 shows in November.
Yeah,
In Trondheim and Oslo, and we did was it 10 gig tour?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just before Christmas, we did
Just before
the
Christmas.
Jul I Utgård tour. So just being, we've been actually, we're not the ones to complain because we've been extremely lucky and actually quite busy.
Yeah, fairly busy. Not like traveling wise,
Not like touring busy, but we've been in the rehearsal space a lot, and
a lot more than usual.
Yeah.
What's the public mood and vibe and everything, and where do you see this going? Is it getting better there? Is it getting worse? Today it just got a hell of a lot worse for Ontario. A full, complete, things are like twice as bad as when it began for us.
Yeah, it's saying, oh well, not as bad in Norway, but I mean it's worse than in March, April last year. It is as well.
I think we're going to see a couple of full lockdowns before this gets better.
Yeah, because people are, oh, we have vaccines. This is over. No, it isn't.
No.
So I mean, and everybody was every expert was predicting that when the vaccines came around, the infection rate would go up sky high because of people are relaxing too much, So we're gonna face. We're going to face some really, really hard months. I really doubt there's going to be anything. Things won't turn to normal until at least the second half of the year.
Yeah, but
it's not to be pessimistic, but that's actually optimistic, I think.
It's really hard keeping up like your regular your regular plans or your regular planning. Like we have stuff booked for this summer now. That do we really think it's going to happen? Maybe Norwegian things with restrictions, but there are still festivals that got moved from 2020 till 2021, and no one really knows that. Or no one really thinks that anything like international is going to happen.
I mean,
already this summer. So, but it must be really stressful for the guys organizing the festivals and the clubs.
Yeah,
those are the people really suffering.
Yeah, especially the clubs.
Yeah, especially the clubs.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how many clubs that will still exist in next year, 2022. I mean,
no, and the club scene in Toronto and different parts of Canada, the same thing. It's very sad. Very sad.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Well, I wanted to thank you so much for the conversation, for the record. Really, it was one of the highlights. Something to look forward to during the day was to listen to it. So thank you so much. I've been a fan forever. Congratulations from Brave Words.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And yeah, we really appreciate your enthusiasm once again.
We do.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Take care, guys.
Take
Stay
care.